Hey my friends, how you doing today? Keder here on a beautiful, beautiful day, my friend. I'm excited to be making this video for you today, okay? Today, we're gonna start talking about something that is plaguing to a lot of people, okay? It plagues me in the beginning of my career, and this is something I had to overcome, okay? So pound that for watching this video. Pow! All right, guys, so today, we're gonna be talking about how to stop being a perfectionist, okay? Perfectionist, a lot of people use that word not to get things done. A lot of people use that word for their own doom, for their own failure. And I used it a lot in the beginning of my career. So I wanna share with you a couple of things that helped me as I go through this journey, and I actually can share these things that can help you because I faced all the same situation that you face, you know? In the beginning, I actually say, man, I'm a perfectionist. Until it's done right, I ain't gonna do it at all. You go hard, right? You go hard or you go home. You know what's gonna happen for yourself, guys. I can tell you, it can change your life. Crazy. So here's the thing that you gotta understand. Perfectionist, right, is just a fancy word for people who's not getting started or people who's just quit. It's just a fancy word that we use. You know, most people, they can get started on something, right? But they just say, oh man, I'm just a perfectionist, so I can do it. You know, I'm a perfectionist. It's just another way of saying I'm quitting. I'm quitting on my dreams. I'm quitting on my future. You know, some of you want to start making videos and you say, hey, until I get it right, until I get the right camera, I'm not going to start doing it. You got to start with the bad stuff. You know, whatever you see as the bad stuff. One example that I usually give is that if you have right now, if you have a cell phone, like this cell phone over here, right? This is an iPhone, right? If you have an iPhone or whatever, you have a regular Samsung, whatever the cell phone is, the quality of the video that's on this camera is 100 times better than someone that has a high-tech camera back in the days that they shot movies like Star Wars with, like 1987. Like, their quality sucked, but this camera, they made millions. Why? Because they had a vision and they projected it. So you must not say to yourself, man, I need to have everything in line. I need everything to be perfect in order for me to get to where I'm going. I need to have everything just going right. Because in real life, if you live in real life, most of the time, 95% of the time, things will not be perfect. You just gotta get started and get it going. And in the process, you're gonna get better. You're gonna get things correct in the process. You're gonna change things because as you do something over and over again, you're gonna figure out, hey, I could do it better. You're gonna figure out, hey, this is what I can include in this thing and mix it 10 times better. But the only way you're gonna find out these things is in the process. It's while doing the stuff that you wanna do. And in the process, you're gonna figure out what's wrong, what's right. It's like a lot of people are waiting for the green light. You know, if you're gonna go somewhere, right, you're gonna drive to some type of destination. You know, you're gonna go to work or you're gonna go to the doctor's office. Would you just sit at home and say, hey man, I'm gonna wait till all the lights on the roads are green so I can start driving? I mean, let's be real. More likely, that's never gonna happen. You're not gonna have all the lights green. You know, if you keep going on that road, maybe on some days, you're gonna have all the light greens. That ever happens to you? Like, and then you're gonna start realizing the pattern. I remember when I was dating my wife, now currently my wife, when I was going to her house, there's like a set of lights. It's about 8 of them, you know, to get through. But once you get one of them green, once you get it green, you're gonna get all of them green. Do you ever drive on any roads that's like that? Like, once you get one green light, you know, like you kind of know the pattern. No, if I get this one red, oh my God, I'm dead. I'm gonna find all the other ones are red. You know the pattern, but if I get it green, I know the other one is gonna be green, the other one's gonna be green, and you kind of know the time. Like, if you get it on the yellow, you know you're gonna miss the second one. Or if you get this one on the green, like a split second when they just give it, you might find the other one on green. Why? Because you've traveled the road so many times. So now you start knowing the patterns. It's the same thing. Whatever that you're trying to accomplish, right? Stop being a perfectionist. you're gonna know the pattern by doing. So if you release your first book, like if you try to build a business online, you make your first video, you're gonna see how it goes, right? You make your second one, you make your third one, you're gonna know. Now you're gonna start seeing the pattern. I've already made thousands of videos, so now I know the patterns. I know what to expect from the people that's watching, and I know what to expect from me, and I know how to course correct things and change things. But the only way that I'm gonna get this information is by going through the process every time, okay? A goal that you wanna set, okay? If you wanna stop being a perfectionist, make it a goal that you will finish everything that you start. Everything that you start, make it a goal that you will finish it. So therefore, that enforces in your mind that I'm a no quitter. Pound that if you're a no quitter. Pow! When it enforces in your mind that I'm a no quitter, I finish everything that I start. Any project that you get started on, make it a goal that, hey, you know what? This is not gonna lead to rest. Like, this was my dream, this was a project of mine, I'm gonna get it done. Make it a goal that you're not gonna half-ass. You're not gonna start doing a job and you're gonna quit. That I'm gonna get everything done. You know, anything that I get started, I'd rather not start the project than to get started and not finish. So any dream that you write down, anything that you wanna establish or accomplish, make sure that, hey, this is something I'm gonna finish. Because what happened with a lot of people, they start to delay the success. You know, by procrastinating and say, hey, you know what, I want everything to be perfect. You know, until everything is perfect, I'm not gonna make my first video. Until I get the perfect camera, I'm not gonna make my first video. See, what starts happening, they start delaying the success. Oh, until I know everything is gonna be all right, I'm not gonna create my first course. My first course, man, when I created my first course that I made $100,000 in the first month out, I literally had nothing ready. I got everything ready in a week. The only thing I had was the training, which at first I had to give the training for free on my blog, and I was getting so much traffic, so many people was going to it and they were asking me questions. It was crazy. So I knew I had a sign. Then I was like, yo, I went to an event and one of my mentors said, dude, you should monetize this stuff. Like, you're giving out so much for free already. Why don't you monetize it? Create a course. And the same week, I didn't know how it was gonna happen. I linked up with a copywriter. I linked up with a videographer. I linked up with someone that was gonna design all the graphics for the sales page. I didn't know none of that stuff was gonna happen. But I was willing to push through the process and not delay my success. But if I had to say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna wait till I get better at speaking. The videos I was making on that page, guys, my stomach was crunching. Like, I was scared out of my mind, but I was thinking more on how can I help people rather than, oh man, the feelings that was going on inside of my body. My mind was going 300 miles per hour. I could not even process my thought, right? But I just go out there and give it. That's what you gotta do with everything that you gotta do, man. Just go out there and get it done. Stop delaying your success, okay? People are afraid of making videos. They're afraid of doing lives. The only way that you're gonna get better is by doing it. You know, even still now, sometimes I have a little fear that kicked in, but there's a saying that says that use your fear as catalyst. When you feel fearful about doing something, because fear can be energy. Because that thing, I'm gonna show you real quick how to process it. Because fear dominated my life for so long. That's why I'm so passionate about this stuff. Because I know how you feel. Like, I know how crazy it is to have fear. Because I've dealt with fear for so much. But someone taught me one day how to use my fear. Use it as energy. Because fear is energy. Like, you feel some type of way. Some of you is gonna be sweating. Like, some of you, your mind will be running 300 miles per hour, and you feel like your heart is gonna start beating faster. It's like, and when you're fearful, it's like, dude, like, I can't stop it. What you must realize is that you can use that power that fear gives you and get excited. Like, instead of focusing on how you feel, how your body's reacting, take it and process it in the mind. Because the mind is so much more powerful than your body, right? Because the body is directed by the mind. So if you take that feelings of, I'm sweating, I'm scared, push it in your mind and say, hey man, I'm powerful, I'm amazing. This is something serious that I'm about to do. That's why my body's reacting the way it's reacting. This is something that I want. This is something that I need. So your body start interacting with your mind, and it interact together, and it creates something amazing. So now you start projecting your fear into whatever you're trying to do, and you can see massive explosion. So that's one way you can actually use your fear as catalyst, okay? Like, must understand, bad economy will only reward the people who's getting things done, regardless who passed their fear. Like, people will say, hey man, you know, things are not going well, it's a bad economy right now, things are not working out. The people who don't quit, they're gonna be able to win even through the bad economy, even through the bad time, because what's gonna happen, a lot of people, they're gonna develop fears, and a lot of people will start quitting. Now, it makes room for the no quitters. It makes room for the people who's not willing to quit. This is saying that if you stay long in the game, you just win by default. It's crazy, right? You win by default, because what's gonna happen? When I first started my journey, my career, you know, into my business, my online, being an entrepreneur, being a freedom speaker, and all that great stuff that I do, there was a lot of people who started with me, right? But in the process, so many of them quit. So many of them quit. And even if my stuff wasn't as good as it is, I stayed in the game. And with persistence, what happened? Now my competition lessened, because everybody I started with, like thousands of them quit. They quit. So what's gonna happen? You started up there with a bunch of people, and then they start quitting. They quit. So my competition become right there. So the competition lessened out, because most people will quit. So what's gonna happen? You're gonna win by default if you stay in the game and if you stay pushing. No one gets things right on the first time. You're not gonna get things right on the first time you get started. It's not gonna be easy. Anything that you do for the first time, you're not gonna get it right. You know, that's how it is. You know, there was a saying, this man who created Harry Potter, those books, the Harry Potter books, I forgot his name, he said that, you know, you're not failing. The only reason people don't fail is they don't try new things. And if you don't try new things, you actually fail by default, because you're not growing. So, I mean, that was so powerful when he said this, because you must understand that with anything that you're gonna try for the first time, there's a very high possibility of you failing, because you don't have the skills, you don't have the understanding, you don't have the power. You're gonna have to learn it. Like, it's like me right now saying I'm gonna play football in pro level. Like, you know, I'm gonna play against a bunch of guys who've been practicing, who's been on top of the game. Yo, I'm gonna look like trash. Like, if you go play, you don't play at a pro level in the NBA, and you say, hey, I'm gonna play with LeBron James, I'm gonna play with those guys, what do you think you're gonna look like? You think you're just gonna go, oh man, I got this? More likely not. So what I'm saying, guys, is that success comes with practice. Okay? Success comes with training. You gotta train yourself in the process, and whatever you do over and over again, right? A ratio will appear. So you will know exactly, you know, how do I need to do this? How do I get better? You know, you gotta go to the process of growing, okay? Here's another thing. Make progress while others criticize you. You know, stop being a perfectionist, because what's gonna happen in the beginning? You're gonna suck, and people's gonna see it. And that's cool. You're gonna find people that criticize what you say. Even now, if you're watching this on my YouTube channel or my Facebook, wherever you're watching this, I still find people who criticize my stuff. You know the cool part about this, when people criticize my stuff, like I don't even do it anymore. But what I used to do then, I used to go to their page and they got nothing going on. It's crazy how people would just put a thumbs down or criticize my video. Then I go on their page to see what they got going on. They got no videos. Most of the time, people who criticize you or people who doesn't see your vision, it's a reflection of themselves. That's how you gotta see it. When people criticize you, it is a reflection of themselves. It is not really, because they don't really know you, right? They don't really know you, so you cannot take that inner. Like, to me, there's the internet world, okay? There's a bunch of people that don't know you, that don't understand your passion, that don't know your vision. They might see your video and they just might be having a bad day. And they click unlike, or they put some crazy comments. So you don't want to take it in your head in the beginning. Understand that people will criticize you, but what you need to focus on, make progress. While they're criticizing, you making progress, baby. You're growing. You know, while people are criticizing, you are growing. There's a story about this goat. I don't know if you guys know goats or anything like that, but if you live far out in the countryside, right, you probably know animals, and if you live on a farm or anything like that. But you know, not to say you wouldn't know what a goat is. Come on now, Keder, come on. All right, so there was this story about this guy who had a goat, right, and the goat fall in a hole, right, and the goat fall in a hole, and what happened, a lot of people that came in, they started dropping trash in the hole, so on the goat. So they keep coming to the goat and drop trash on it. So what the goat did while being in the hole, the goat just shook himself, boom, and the trash got under his feet, right? So he just stepped on the trash, and then they dropped some more trash, and he just shook himself, and the trash got under his feet, and then they keep dropping more trash, and before you know it, the hole was filled up with trash, and the goat was able to walk out because it was playing on the floor now. The trash went up all the way, but every time they dropped the trash on him, what he did, he just shook himself and dropped the trash under him. So that's what you gotta do in the process. You gotta make progress while other people are criticizing you, while other people are saying, oh, you're not gonna make it, oh, this is not right, this is not good. But you just let them criticize, and you keep making progress, you keep growing, okay? Another way to stop being a perfectionist is to quit complaining and act like a boss. Like a lot of you complain too much. That's why you're not having massive success. You complaining about, oh man, it's too hard. Oh man, I gotta spend money. Oh man, you complaining, act like a boss. A real boss do what is necessary. They do what's required for them to get to the next level. So stop acting like a little girl, like a little kid. Be a boss. Like, own it. Own it. Yo, you got a dream, you gotta accomplish something big. Own it and get it happen. All right? Stop acting like a little girl. You be a boss, right? Things are not working right. You'll find out, yo, how can I fix this? Guys, there was a time I was trying to spend as little as possible to get the most. And that's the mentality with so many people. They want to give so little, but get a big reward. But then you're not realizing you cannot cheat the process. You will only get to the proportion that you give. And I mean not just giving money. You got to give your time, energy, money, your vision, everything that you got. And when I realized that, yo, I used to not spend on my ads, like to get my message out there, to expand my brand, to grow. When I started investing, understand that the money that I invest in myself is way much more important than this computer, or TV, or whatever. Because without me, these things, they cannot fulfill whatever they need to fulfill. They cannot fulfill the objective. Like, without me, this computer is useless. Who's gonna use it? Like, without the TV, without me, the TV is useless. Who's gonna turn it on? Without me, the car is useless. So if I don't invest into myself, my growth, my future, why am I investing into stuff that without me, they are innate? So I started saying that now I invest into myself more than I invest into my job, the business, anything else. That's how you're gonna get to the next level. But anyway, guys, I was Keder. Appreciate you. If you do find value in this video, please like, share, leave a comment below. I'll see you guys later. Pound out.